This is one of the worst crime-related incidents in Brazil, known as the Mangue 937, or the Swamp Girls. A tragic event was caught on tape. Who were the individuals involved in this situation? Let's explore their stories.
Agora a gente tá rasgando a camisa, estamos vestindo a da GDR. Camisa do CV, por causa que meu padre é o Billy.
First victim, Darciel Anselmo. Darciel was born in Fortaleza, Brazil, in 1987. She became involved with the Comando Vermelho gang, a well-known criminal organization in Brazil. This gang, often called CV, is active mainly in South America, especially in Brazil and Argentina. Comando Vermelho was formed in 1979 as a group in a prison. The name means Red Commando in Portuguese. It started as a mix of common criminals and Jaffa guerrillas at Cândido Mendes prison on Ilha Grande. The prison guards gave the gang this name, and the inmates accepted it. The gang is involved in various illegal activities, including drug trafficking, weapons trafficking, and protection rackets. They have also been linked to kidnapping and hijacking armored trucks. In the 1980s, CV expanded from the prison to other prisons and the favelas of Rio de Janeiro, becoming deeply involved in the cocaine trade. Currently, Comando Vermelho is in conflict with a rival gang called Guardiões do Estado, which is becoming more active. The gang's sign is the letters CV. According to Insight Crime, there may be up to 30,000 members in Comando Vermelho and other gangs. In a notable incident, YouTuber iShowSpeed was tricked into making gang signs during a video chat. When he realized he had unintentionally participated in gang culture, he asked a local Brazilian if he could be in danger. The local quickly warned him that Brazilian gangs can be extremely dangerous and advised against imitating gang signs, even as a joke. Second victim, Nara Aline. Nara was born on August 23, 1994, in Brazil. At the age of 20, she faced an arrest for transporting marijuana and later became involved with the Comando Vermelho gang. There has been some confusion about her identity, with many articles and videos mistakenly describing her as a 14-year-old male. This misunderstanding likely happened because of her short hair and low voice, which some people associate with masculinity. Living with her partner, Darciel Anselmo de Alencar, Nara became deeply involved in the drug trade. She claimed to have been accepted by the state guardians and began selling drugs in areas controlled by rival gangs. This risky decision put her in danger, as the GD faction was known for its violent methods. In 2014, Nara got involved in activities in the Maracanaú neighborhood of Fortaleza. Even after being arrested, she continued her illegal operations. To protect herself, she moved to the Barra do Ceará neighborhood, which was under the influence of the GD faction. Third victim, Ingrid Teixeira. Ingrid was a 22-year-old woman who was 4 months pregnant at the time of the tragic event. She was not involved in any gang, but was a neighbor of Nara and Darcy. She became involved because she saw the gang approaching. Fortaleza is more than just a tourist spot. It has busy areas where people work and fun neighborhoods like Vila Velha and Barra do Ceará, each with its own special stories. The Ceará River goes through the area and has beautiful mangroves. But in 2017, bad things happened in these neighborhoods. Many families had to leave their homes, and these once lively places became empty and unsafe. The main reason for this was drugs, controlled by a group called the Grasshoppers. Later, they were called the Guardians of the State, or GDE. They were strong at first, but other bad groups from São Paulo and Rio de Janeiro came to Ceará and took control of Vila Velha. Francisco, a 27-year-old leader of the State Guardians gang called Mitol, is important in this story. He had done bad things before, including a violent act that happened to a young girl named Janaína. When Nara started selling narcotics where Mitol was in charge, he saw it as a problem. He talked to his friend Gilson, who was also in the State Guardians. On March 2, 2018, 3 women were involved in a violent encounter that ended with violence. This showed that Mitol would not let anyone challenge his power in the neighborhood. The State Guardians members found Nara's home and decided to go there. A teenager helped them get there. Around 1:40 p.m., they arrived without warning. At first, the three women were calm and collected, thinking it might just be a minor disagreement or misunderstanding. But they didn't know the bad things that were going to happen. The women were taken to a mangrove swamp, where one of them, Darcy, was still wearing her pajamas. This place was between Vila Velha and Calcaia, on an island in the river about 1 kilometer from the shore. When they got there, they saw more men waiting. These men looked tough and were on drugs. The group followed the men's orders, which included filming in Islamic style. In these videos, it is common for individuals facing harm to state their full names and express their desire to leave a particular group. The individuals typically state that they are either leaving or being forced out. Darcy was seen alone on a muddy bank in the mangrove. She introduced herself and stated she was leaving her group, appearing visibly hurt. She had been injured and was in distress. As the video continued, she pleaded for her life, saying she would do anything, but her pleas went unheard. A man named Bruno ended her life by her. While she initially fell back in pain, she did not pass immediately. Later, it was reported that her head moved and the men laughed. The video focused on Darcy and the ground, not showing the faces of the men involved. Next was Nara, who wore a black shirt. Similar to Darcy, she stated her name and expressed her desire to leave her gang. But this did not help her situation. She had already sustained injuries. The men caused further harm by cutting off her fingers with a dull machete despite her screams. They continued to hurt her, ultimately placing her in a muddy hole. They repeatedly attacked her, injuring her right arm and legs and eventually causing harm to her neck. Nara lay in the hole, and a man known as Rogerio took her life. Another man, Julius, was with Darcy and Ingrid. While Ingrid was not shown in the video, it was reported that her head was also moved. The men concealed the bodies in various locations on the island to prevent them from floating away when the water rose. The video was sent to gang leader Francisco, as well as to other people, including the families of those affected. They were very sad and worried. The police started looking for the individuals in the video to understand what happened in this tragic event. One day went by, but the police couldn't find the people involved. It took another day, and they still couldn't find anything. Everyone knew there was a video, but they didn't know where it was filmed. The location looked the same everywhere, making it hard to pinpoint exactly where the situation occurred. The tide remained high for a few days. On March 7, 2018, 3 men named Antonio, Luis, and Diego were arrested. They all said they didn't do anything wrong. A teenager who was with them also said he wasn't involved. At first, the police thought the teenager might have started the problem, but he claimed he was just watching and saw everything. 2 days later, Bruno was arrested. He had a history of trouble with the police. Julius was also arrested. Some people said Bruno showed the police where this happened, while others thought it was the teenager who did that. The police needed a boat to search the large area. The bodies were in bad shape, so they had to use DNA tests to identify them. A month later, other remains were found, and the victims' bodies were discovered together, along with clothes, pieces of wood from the incident, and a sharp object. The gang's original target was Nara, but the other 2 women were killed just for being with her. The gang executed them because Nara was selling drugs in the area controlled by the State Guardians. They filmed the torture and then buried the victims' bodies on a small island in the mangrove area, about 800 meters from the shore of the Ceará River in Fortaleza. The gang shared the video on social media, which led to public outrage. Although the bodies were not found immediately and there was little evidence at first, the video ultimately led to the perpetrators facing punishment. The victims' bodies were discovered a week later. 7 people were arrested for a crime, with 6 of them identified as the main culprits. The leader of the group was 28-year-old Francisco, also known as Mitol. Once authorities realized he was the mastermind, he was captured while trying to escape. Here's a table summarizing the names, roles, and sentences of the arrested individuals. Since this incident, the gang war between the Guardians of the State and Red Command has gotten much worse. Before this event, police were already sent to the area every day because of the violent fights between these two gangs. The conflict has led to more tensions and made the area less safe, forcing the authorities to respond more often to try to control the violence between these rival groups. A lot of people think they can make quick money by joining criminal groups, but that's a big mistake. Once you get in, it's really hard to get out. You'll live in fear and face serious risks every day. You might lose your freedom or even your life. We need to wake up and realize the dangers of crime and violence. Let's come together and make our communities safer. Thank you for watching. If you found this video informative, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more content. Stay safe and see you in the next video.